Testing. Are we on? Can you hear me? I think it's working. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for our Troy School District Kindergarten Orientation. This night is really special to us as a community because we get to welcome in our next bunch of littles. This is the kindergarten class of 2038. I know, right? Congratulations. Very exciting. So we appreciate your commitment to your children and to our community. The purpose of our night here tonight is to just give you an introduction into the Troy School District. You'll get to meet some of the faces that will guide your children over the next 12 to 13 years, and then learn what kindergarten will be like. So with us here tonight, let me introduce myself. I'm Erin Detmer. I'm the principal at Leonard Elementary. And then here with me on stage, we have Christine Griefor. She's our Assistant Superintendent of Elementary Instruction. Trevor Harker is our Special Education Supervisor for the Elementary Department. And then we have Mrs. Erin Kaiser. She is our Director of Early Childhood Programming. And then we have Mrs. Julia Alder, who is from our Teaching and Learning Department. She has a specialty in mathematics. So thanks for joining us here today, guys. So getting us started today, we'll have Ms. Griefor share a little bit about Troy School District and what makes us so special and promises for your children and their future.
Thank you, Dr. Detmer. Welcome, everyone, class of 2038. Wow. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. Our team is especially excited to welcome all of you on behalf of our cabinet team. Again, my name is Chris Griefor, Assistant Superintendent of Elementary Instruction, our Board of Education, and also all 12 elementaries will be represented here tonight, along with our early childhood team as well. We want to thank the many, many hands that have put tonight together to really act as a wraparound service for you. Am I able to advance the slide this way, Gino, or? All right, thank you. We have collected, I think, from nearly every department in our district, a lot of information that's available to you in many forms. So we're talking tonight a lot of information tonight, and it will be available to you on a QR code, but also on our website. We have the booklets available for you as well, and then individually as our principal team begins to have host nights again coming up here in the spring. So for those of you that don't have a QR code, you're able to do that here tonight or share with one another on the piece of paper. That will work. You can advance the slide again, please.
Good evening, kindergarten parents. My name is Rich Macheski, and I am the proud superintendent of schools for the Troy School District. It is truly an honor to welcome you to the One Troy family and to officially welcome the class of 2037.
38.
Although I cannot be present with you in person, I sincerely appreciate your presence tonight. Kindergarten is a pivotal time in your child's life and marks the beginning of an incredible educational journey. As parents, you play a crucial role in shaping and supporting your child's educational experiences, and we are thrilled to partner with you in this endeavor. Thank you for entrusting the Troy School District with the privilege of nurturing and educating your children. The Troy School District is committed to providing a safe, inclusive, and world-class environment where students thrive and discover the joys of learning. The start of kindergarten is a thrilling and transformative period for both students and parents. It is a milestone that marks the beginning of formal education for your child, and we are here to support you every step of the way. Our devoted teachers, staff, and administrators are passionate about fostering a positive and enriching educational experience for your child. Together, let us embark on a journey of discovery, growth, and success for your children. Thank you for being here tonight, and I look forward to witnessing the remarkable achievements of our kindergarten class in the years ahead. Once again, welcome to the One Troy family. I am confident your children will have a fantastic kindergarten year. Good evening, kindergarten parents. My name is Rich Macheski.
This This is okay. So again, on behalf of our Board of Education, our cabinet team, Dr. Macheski, our superintendent of schools, we're so proud to welcome all of you this evening. We have a very kind of an overview of all of our kindergartens. Again, we have 12 elementary schools across our district. Our district as a whole serves 13,000 students. In our elementary schools, we have hold about 5,000 of those students. And we wanted to work with our staff to kind of give you a glance and overview of what kindergarten looks like here in the Troy schools.
Kindergarten sets the foundation for our students' career in education in Troy School District. The excitement and the joy in a kindergartner's eyes is not matched with any grade level. I don't care what they say.
Kindergarten is an enchanted and magical place to be.
Is it cliche to say kindergarten is kind of like a magical place?
I think kindergarten is laughter, it's love, it's learning.
It is very academic heavy. I think if we think back to when even we as teachers were in kindergarten, it's very rigorous curriculum. It's reading, writing, math, science, social studies.
I remember kindergarten as coming to school, maybe singing the alphabet, baking something, and maybe drawing a picture. It is very different now.
It starts with a mini lesson where we teach a skill, and then we practice together, and then the students go off to do independent practice. So, and during this time, the teacher meets with students individually or in small group so we can grow their thinking.
This curriculum really lends itself nicely to that, a lot of that differentiation. You know, students come into kindergarten all over the board. We can take the kids where they need to go, depending on where they're at, and they all seem to fly and flourish.
Our kindergartners participate in the same specials as the rest of our learners. PE, so gym class, media center, art, and music class. And within all of those classes, our specials teachers tailor the curriculum to meet the needs of our littlest learners.
They get to experience different adults in the building. I think that's really important, especially in kindergarten, because we want them to know that this is a safe place and there's many people in this building that are contributing to their success. So that starts with kindergarten. That's just one more person in the building that they know that they can count on if they need anything.
This is a safe place for our kids to learn and grow, and that partnership of school and parents is critical to the success of all of our kids.
As a parent, I value how positive the experience is with kindergarten and how students are able to get a foundation in reading, writing, math, science, social studies, but also that there's a lot of purposeful play, which allows kids to build relationships with their peers, learn how to problem solve, learn how to communicate in a more authentic way.
It's the time for them to take maybe what they learned in preschool or what they're used to at home and using that to come into their own as a learner. What's really special about our district is that when we say learning for everybody, learning for all, we mean it. And the different kids that walk into our classrooms that we see every day, that's such a special thing that is so special to Troy. And I feel like it's so important for kids to be exposed to people that are different than them early on in life. And in Troy, I feel like that's such a special thing that we have that not a lot of other places might have and value the way that we do.
So just a quick overview for you this evening. We are extremely proud of the way our group works as a system. And so whether you're here from one side of town to another, we are excited to be able to offer you a world-class education here in Troy. And I want to especially thank our elementary principals for working so closely with our team here in central office to ensure that learning happens here each and every day. Just a quick overview for tonight. So we have our kindergarten, obviously our orientation night this evening. In addition, a really important date for you to notate is February 3rd will be our official date of enrollment, followed by our kindergarten roundup that will take place at your home buildings. You'll get some more information about that, but we just wanted to provide you with that overview. And then a lot of transition activities from April until August. So you'll want to make sure that enrollment will get you started in making sure that you get all the information from your elementary principal in moving forward. Just a quick overview of the agenda this evening before I pass it on to our team. We're really just trying to give you kind of an overview of, again, all the information that you might be wondering or needing, but just thinking about getting ready for kindergarten. Sometimes parents that's really top of mind for folks to make sure your child is prepared. Looking at a day in the life, I think the most important people you'll hear from is our kindergarten students this evening. Our principals have had a lot of time just kind of thinking with them about their favorite part of kindergarten. That's my favorite part of tonight. We'll talk a lot about our district services, our before and after school care programs that we offer here in the district, our enrollment process, which is obviously important to get you going in terms of the process, our kindergarten roundup nights, some important timelines, and then we'll have some Q&A from you as well this evening. We won't answer every question this evening, but just we'll have our principals kind of mingling through to answer some questions for you yet this evening.
Thanks, Chris. So we didn't want to provide an exhaustive list for you all, but I know that one of the top of mind questions for families is what can I do at home to make sure that my child is ready for kindergarten? And while we did mention that Troy really values education and it's a priority, we want your child to also have a balance of having those soft skills when they come into kindergarten too. So it's less about some of those rote academics that you can be doing at home and just things that you can do that are shared joyful experiences with your child to prepare them. So reading with your children every single day, it's really wonderful for them to have just a understanding of books and how they work, but also that shared joy, because reading and writing is going to be a big part of their life in kindergarten, and them starting to identify themselves as a reader and a writer, even if they don't have those functional skills yet, they can identify themselves in that way through practicing with you. Telling stories together, you can retell some favorite memories with them so they get used to the cadence of being a storyteller. That's a really big part of workshop, is them just being able to tell a story out loud and then be able to put it down on paper and retell it. They see themselves as an author, which is incredibly powerful for children. Playing board games and card games, it's about turn taking, it's about being a gracious loser sometimes, and being happy for someone else, some empathy, things like that. Introducing your child to new things, just opportunities to interact with other children. So we are so grateful when our children enter kindergarten with some sort of a preschool or early childhood experience, but even if it's play dates at the library or at the park or visiting your local playground, just opportunities for them to interact with other peers. Giving them experiences with school tools. I know scissors sometimes seem scary, but really the more practice they get, that will benefit them to have some of those just independence with using those skills, because that'll be a big part of their day in kindergarten. Some independence with some of those self-help skills will be really important too. Don't fret, we will certainly support them, but we really do want to foster independence and have them gain confidence with being able to take care of some of those things independently. So, some of those winter clothes, things like boots, mittens, zipping, unbuttoning, packing and unpacking their backpack, being responsible for their personal items will be a big part of their day. Again, that's a big part of the arrival routine when they come to school, but eventually we do want them to have some pride in their own independence. Same thing with some of their meals, if you're sending lunches from home, and we'll talk more about food services in a bit, but just so that they feel a little bit more independent with taking care of some of their items. Again, there will be help in the classroom, there'll be help in the cafeteria, but we want them to be able to be independent and solve problems for themselves too. A sensitive item, but making sure that they have some independence and confidence in the bathroom, having them practice using the toilet in a place that's not home is really important, especially if you know that that's going to be new for your child. And in transparency, they will be responsible for their own hygiene at school too, so it's great for them to practice taking care of themselves in the bathroom independently, you coaching them through that and having them gain confidence so that when they go to school, they're able to do that independently. We want them to, we certainly understand accidents and things might happen, but it's really important that they be able to take care of themselves also. Label everything, I can't stress this enough. Just how many things look similar and how little they identify something as actually being theirs once it's out of their sight. So please make sure to label everything, your winter gear and everything like that. And we encourage you to visit your school's playground either over the summer or in the evenings after 6 p.m. It would be a wonderful opportunity for them to just gain some familiarity and make that transition a little bit more comfortable. As we mentioned, there's just a few snippets of some of our current kindergartners talking about some of their favorite parts about kindergarten. Do I push play?
Reading books.
Reading books? What do you like so much about books?
Reading the words. Recess and purposeful play. Gym and art.
Gym and art? What do you like so much about gym and art?
Because gym you get to play, and at art you get to make stuff.
Oh, just kidding. Oh, can we go back one? How do I go back? There we go. Okay. Ooh, this is really small. I'm going to have to turn around probably. So on some of the enrollment things, you'll be seeing that, pre-K and kindergarten enrollment opens on this date. If your child is age eligible for kindergarten, 5 by December 1st, they're also included in that window of being age eligible for pre-K. Pre-K is what you may have heard as developmental kindergarten or young fives in other districts, transitional kindergarten. It is a 2-year kindergarten program for students that qualify. It's funded by the state of Michigan. You're required to be a TSD resident. Many families opt for this if they are in that September 2nd to December 1st window, that later birthday. So if your child is a September 2nd to December 1st birthday, you will meet with your homeschool building principal and you'll have what's called a waiver meeting. And they'll talk to you about, what has your child's early childhood or school experience been? What are you thinking about for kindergarten? It'll be a collaborative process together about what the recommendation is for your child the following year. Whether you decide to do pre-K or kindergarten, you will have that meeting and sign that waiver. The next step in that process would be then, obviously, then you're going to be enrolling for either pre-K or kindergarten. If you're enrolling for pre-K, it's important to know that it's located at the preschool facility on Square Lake, and it's treated as an early childhood year. We use a high-scope early childhood curriculum. It's play-based. We're a licensed facility, and so the ratio of children is 20 children with 2 teachers, but many of the components of the program are very similar to the Troy School District kindergarten in terms of our calendar and things like that. So it's really an individual choice for each family. We want to make sure that you're informed about both of the options that you have. The other real priority for a pre-K option would be if your child maybe hasn't had a preschool experience, whether you're new to the community or for financial reasons or transportation or for whatever reason your child has not had a preschool experience. This might be an opportunity for them to have a play-based introduction to the school learning environment before entering kindergarten. So that's something that I'm happy to have conversations with. If you have a current preschool child, their teacher may give you a recommendation, or talking with the principal at your building. That's a wonderful person that could be a great resource for you. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. Transportation, I said, was not provided for pre-K, but we do have the before and after school childcare. If you're on the fence about enrollment, we always say pre-K eventually fills because it's a licensed program. Kindergarten never fills. So while we want you to commit to a program, if you're not sure, definitely have a conversation with the homeschool principal, and then we can help you and answer questions at the early childhood office to make that decision as well. I'm going to hand it over to Julia.
All right, good evening. I want to talk a little bit about the opportunities at the kindergarten level for what your students will be learning each day. And we follow Michigan curriculum where students daily have deep learning experiences with authentic opportunities. So whether it's in literacy, math, science, or social studies, the students are learning together in ways where they're exploring and experiencing opportunities that are rich and fun. So each day there's literacy that's balanced with reading, writing, and phonics. Mathematics that includes play and skill building opportunities that are differentiated throughout the day. And our science and social studies also are developed in ways where kids explore, design, and make sense of the learning experiences, as well as art, gym, music, and media on a rotation each week. So I think all of those opportunities for our youngest learners are made in such a thoughtful way that children are enjoying their days. And you're going to see a video in just a second that shows some of those experiences, and I get to click that. I guess I will do that right now. Here we go. And I think I click it again. Here we go.
What's your favorite thing about kindergarten?
My teacher, the whole class, and
my favorite thing about kindergarten is learning new things.
my favorite thing about kindergarten, I like learning about icebergs, recharging time, and
So, in those days in the kindergarten life, they start their day with a morning meeting, they welcome each other, they talk about things that are important to them each morning before they move into a very academic and rich environment where they deal with number fluency and a calendar routine, reading and writing and phonics, as you heard from our kindergarten speaking about the things that are most exciting to them, like icebergs. They have such rich access to literacy in the classroom, so they are constantly inspired and excited about what's around them in nature and in the world. So our workshop routines in mathematics, science, and social studies and literacy allow children to really continue to develop their relationships with each other during learning. So we're very proud of that. Of course, there's lunch and there's specials, and those rotate throughout the week, so they don't ever miss one of those pieces. Here we are, Trevor. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Trevor Harker. I'm the special education supervisor for our Birth Through Elementary. It's good to see everybody here. For some of you, this is your first kindergarten information night. Same for me as well, so I'm seeing these videos for the first time. And just as the principal said in the video, it's such a beautiful experience for our kids. And that's one thing that we make sure is a priority, is that all students have access and are able to experience these opportunities the same as every other student in this district. So when we're talking about special education students, we're talking about students that are general education students first, okay? So as we go through today, we're gonna talk a little bit about district services that are provided, typically above and beyond what you would see for a lot of our students, but for those students that need a little bit of extra support within the classroom. So we have ancillary supports through special education. We have English language development services, as well as literacy and math specialists that work on students at where they're at wherever their baseline is, to continue to build them up to be the best that they can be. Oh, a little fast. Let's see here. All right. Programs and services for special education. So for special education, students have to qualify for special education services, and we do that through what we call an evaluation. We do have some students who will be coming to kindergarten with special education or an IEP, and we'll be providing special ed services throughout their time here with us to provide them extra supports to ensure they have the same access and equity and opportunities as their gen ed peers. So what you'll see within our buildings, all buildings in our district provide a continuum of services, and throughout that continuum, we meet students where they're at. We have ancillary support services such as speech and language, social workers, teacher consultants, and a resource room. We also have physical therapy, occupational therapists, and school psychologists. And then we have what we call categorical programs for students that receive some more intensive supports and services. These supports and services are determined appropriate by an IEP team through that IEP team process, and you are an intricate partner within that decision-making process. As far as additional supports and services, in addition to this, we do also provide 504 supports across the district, and we ensure that all students have universal supports across the board to make sure that they're successful. And I'll be available after today for anybody that has any questions or inquiries about specifically their students.
All right, it's time for another one.
My favorite part of kindergarten is math because I can do addition. My favorite part of kindergarten is going to lunch. My favorite thing of kindergarten is math games because there are games in the math. My favorite part of kindergarten is when I hang out with my friends and go outside at recess.
Usano, tell us what you love most about kindergarten at Costello.
Playing with my friends. My favorite part of kindergarten is going to specials.
Mackenzie, tell us what you love about kindergarten.
So we always do a lot of crafts, and there's art there that you can make anything you want to, and you make like snowflakes and other cool things.
So my favorite part about kindergarten are the kindergartners, right? They're so sweet. In addition to our special education services, we also offer English language services for any of our families that might have another language spoken at home. And so a child is determined to be eligible for English language services by 2 questions that are on your enrollment paperwork. One of the questions asks, is your child's first language a language other than English? Or is there another language other than English the primary language in your home? And if you answer yes to either of those questions, your child will be screened for ELD services or English language services. Depending on how they do on that screening or on that assessment, they will be allocated to receive support. And for some students, it's just a check-in because they've already established enough English to be competent in the classrooms. But other kids who may have just arrived might need support on a more frequent basis. So they might get help in the classroom, or they might get help in a small group outside of the classroom as well. One of the wonderful things that we're so proud of is here in the Troy School District, we have about 28, well, I know at my school, I can speak to Leonard, we have about 28 different languages spoken at Leonard, and I know that's similar across the district. About 29% of the kids in my building are multilingual, which is really amazing, and it's one of our points of pride that our children have so many abilities to communicate not just in English, but in their home languages as well. So we value your home languages, and we want that to continue to be an important part of their life. But if they are still learning English, and by the way, all kindergartners are still learning English, even if English is the only language they know. But our kindergarten classrooms are the perfect place for all children to learn and grow their language development. So after they take the kindergarten screener, they will have the program services, and then every winter, around February time, they will participate in the WIDA assessment, which is a standardized assessment that allows us to monitor their progress over time. And eventually, if a child has passed out of the WIDA, that is how they become ineligible for services. So they graduate from the program by their competency on that WIDA exam. If you have any questions about ELD services, we are happy to have those conversations either at the building level or after our presentation tonight out in the lobby. Another really important conversation is transportation. How's your little one getting to school? So we have several options. If you live within a mile of your school, you are welcome to walk to school or drive to school. If you live over a mile from your school, you will be eligible for our Troy School District transportation. And we have partnered with First Student Bus Services since 2009, and we have a really wonderful transportation department. Safety is always our first priority. We want to make sure that all of our kids get to and from school very safely, not only physically, but emotionally as well. Our bus drivers really are the first and last people that our children see, and so they take great pride in the relationships that they build with their students. It's important that you communicate often with your bus driver, if that is you, if that is your family that qualifies for those services. Our kindergartners, we take special care of them. They sit up in the front of the bus. The bus drivers often have name tags, so they get to know all of the children's names. Kindergarten parents must be at the bus stop in order to receive a child after school. We won't let a kindergartner, get off the bus without an adult there to receive them for the child's safety. And all bus stop information is available in your PowerSchool parent portal, usually the week before school starts. So I know as you're planning schedules, you'll want to, probably early August comes around and you'll want to know what time is my bus stop, or where is my bus stop, or is it in front of my house. A kindergarten parent isn't guaranteed that it will be in front of your house. You may have to walk down the street a little bit, but you'll be able to find all of that information out in your PowerSchool parent portal the week before school starts. We also have an incredible food service team. I think Chef Joey Price and Nicole Gervais are out in the lobby. We have partnered with Chartwells, and they do an incredible job taking care of our children, both at breakfast and at lunch. We are very sensitive to children's food allergies and their dietary restrictions. So if you have, if your child has any food concerns or dietary needs, please do communicate that not only with your building principal and your classroom teacher, but also with our food service department, because they can work with you on specialized menus to make sure that your child can participate in the program. Our entire food service offering is always nut-free, but we can make things dairy-free or gluten-free or even halal if we know in advance and can work with you. When your child comes to school in the morning, they will make a lunch choice first thing. The teachers will ask them if they want choice 1, choice 2, choice 3, or you can have a lunch from home. Choice 1 is usually a meat option, choice 2 is typically vegetarian, and choice 3 is usually like a salad or a yogurt parfait or something along those lines. Children are also required to take a fruit or a vegetable from our salad bar. They do a wonderful job preparing fresh fruits and vegetables for the children every day, as well as a milk. And then we do offer free breakfast this year as well. In the summer, we will find out from the state whether or not the free programs for breakfast and lunch are extended into next school year. We hope that they are, because it is a really wonderful program for children. If they continue to be free, we'll be sure to communicate that as soon as that information becomes available to us at the district level. If the program goes away, we will communicate that with you as well. In the past, several years ago, when the students had to pay, it was about between $2 and $3 per student meal. But hopefully we don't have to go back to that, but we'll keep you posted. Another thing, even though we have free and reduced lunch available to all families currently, and hopefully next year, you may still want to apply for a free or reduced lunch meal. The reason that could help you is because if you qualify based on income for a free or reduced lunch meal, you could be afforded opportunities to have field trip fees waived or club fees waived, which doesn't typically happen in kindergarten, but sometimes having that official paperwork on file opens up other opportunities for your family. So the 2025-26 paperwork for free and reduced lunch applications will be available in August. So if that is something that would be interested to your family, look for that paperwork at the beginning of next school year. And then a very important hot topic is our CARE, which is our before and after school latchkey program. We have an incredible wraparound service to make sure that our kids are taken care of right first thing in the morning to the very early hours of the evening, to make sure that if for our families that might have to work or have other transportation challenges, your children can stay right at school and be loved and welcomed and cared for. So our CARE in all 12 elementary buildings opens up at 7 a.m. and it closes at 6 p.m. You have the opportunity to sign up for all 5 days, mornings and afternoons, or if you only need it on Tuesdays or only need it in the mornings, you can a la carte the days that you need. It is a really incredible service for a very reasonable cost compared to other programs. The cost and the financial information is located in your superhero booklet. If you're looking for the details on the specifics for that, registration for CARE opens on May 5th. You're going to want to write that down if you need it because it's a hot day and the slots can fill up in your child's elementary school because it is a licensed program. So we can't just take everybody. We have to limit it to what the staffing that we have assigned at each school. So May 5th, and I think it's like early in the morning. So these are one of the things where you're going to want to stalk your web browser and refresh and make sure you get in there. But the programs are very rich for the children. They get to play with each other. There's a homework table. They can do crafts and activities. Kids at my school are making like loom bracelets, and they learn how to crochet and finger knit. Like, it's just so cool to see the wonderful things that kids just get to be kids. The teachers do such a beautiful job in our CARE program. Okay, enrollment. This is not as much fun, but very important. Okay, so enrollment starts on Monday, February 3rd. We have a two-step enrollment process. So the first step, when you log on, when you pop onto our website, it'll pop up like enrollment is open, and you click on that and you have to do step 1 and submit step 1. If you are currently registered as a pre-K family, most of your paperwork is already done, but you still need to do that step 1 and let us know that you're re-entering. If you are currently in preschool or this is your first experience with the Troy School District, you have to do step 1 and step 2. So everybody has something to do on February 3rd. So February 3rd to April 9th, you will start that process. You will do step 1, and then we have an incredible enrollment team. They will go through all of that paperwork, and they will email you when you're ready for step 2. And then on April 9th is when we have our kindergarten roundups or our kindergarten information nights at our home building. In order to attend those kindergarten information nights, your enrollment has to be complete. You won't get your invitation to attend until that enrollment is submitted into the district. In your packet and on the website, it shows the documents that you need for uploading. It should only take 15 minutes or so to do that if you have all of the paperwork ready in advance. So depending on your residency status, whether you are a family who owns a home or leases a home or lives with a family member, there are different required documents depending on your special situation, and all of that is outlined there. If you have any questions about any of that, our enrollment team is wonderful, and so are our building secretaries. You're welcome to call any of the 12 buildings, and we'll do our best to help you. We also have translation services available. So if you would like help accessing that information, you are welcome to email or call or come into the office, and we will make sure that you are set up with a translation service so that you can access that and have an easier time submitting all the paperwork. So then on April 9th, when you come to your home building, you'll have a personalized view of what kindergarten looks at your school. Here tonight, we are lucky that all 12 of our buildings offer a very similar, high-class, amazing kindergarten experience, but there's always personal touches that happen when you are a Leonard Leopard or a Waddles Wildcat. And so when you get to go to your home building, you get to see your kindergarten teachers and meet your principal and walk around your building, and it really does help to make you feel like you're at home. And so while most of the information you'll hear on April 9th is going to be very similar to the information you heard tonight, we're hoping that hearing it one more time doesn't hurt, and hearing it from your home team will make you feel like part of your elementary school family already. At that April 9th evening, you will hear from your building principal, your kindergarten team, and all of your ancillary support staff, and you'll learn about more specifics about the curriculum in reading, writing, math, science, and social studies. We'll talk about some building procedures, how arrival and drop-off works at each of the buildings, and a more detailed look at the daily routine of your little one so that you can have an idea of what they will be experiencing each day. Ooh, another one.
What's your favorite thing about kindergarten?
My favorite thing is media because I get to get books.
What is your favorite part about kindergarten?
My favorite part about kindergarten is choice time. And we get to do at choice time is play with all of our toys in our classroom.
So sweet. So just as a reminder, here's the timeline of what's to come for all of you. So tonight is our orientation. Monday starts enrollment. February 3rd. I can't believe that's Monday already. And then our kindergarten roundups or our kindergarten information nights are April 9th at our home buildings. And then all the way from April through August, each building does a wonderful job of transition activities. They might invite you to a popsicles with the principal or a play date on the playground where you have the opportunity with your family and your child to come to the school and get to be a part of the magic that happens there. So next up is February 3rd. All right, I think I said that enough. So now we're at the point where we have time for just a few questions. And so the way the questions will work is in the flyer that was passed out with the QR code, we have been collecting your questions all evening. I can go back and put up the QR code from the beginning if anyone else needs it. Gino, I might need your help with that. It's on the second slide. Thank you, sir. And we've got Dr. Recker down there. Perfect. He's going to facilitate some questions and answers. We'll do our best. So he's read through them and is going to pick out some common themes that would apply to most of the audience. If you have questions specifically about your child or your family, we can save those for off-mic time and make sure that we have those conversations separately. But we'll use this time to answer some general questions. Is it working or not so much? Okay, so I can take this off. Oh, you're good now. Okay.
There's a common question about how we would communicate with you should an issue arise at school. All of our schools have building level communication that comes from the principal, either weekly or biweekly, as well as written communications to families from teachers. Additionally, if something arose at school that we need to talk to you about, we send a quick email or call you to discuss matters from there. Another question is, what if I can't attend kindergarten roundup on April 9th? While everybody's encouraged to attend because it's a super exciting event, there will be transition activities at all schools from April to August where you can hopefully still see the school and feel a part of the community. Additionally, as long as you finish registration in August, early August, you start hearing from us. So we'll still be communicating important information about what to expect and how to prepare for the first day of school. So we'll still get you the information in email form. Another question is, what kind of communication occurs between pre-K teachers and the students transitioning to kindergarten, their teachers? That's a great question. Our pre-K teachers and our kindergarten teachers undergo a lot of common planning and learning together. And additionally, they do have a time where they get to meet and talk through prospective students, so we know their strengths and what needs they'll have for the first day of school. They also help give us input on just general conditions that kids need to thrive and what they're working on. Some of the questions are related to what if my child's before school plan and after school plan are different? So what if my child's riding the bus to school but needs after school care? All of those things can be individualized, and the teachers are really good about having precise arrival and dismissal plans for each kid by day of the week. So all of that can be tailored to your individual child. There are some questions also about opportunities for younger students, specifically 3 and 4-year-olds. If you have a 3 or 4-year-old, the Troy Preschool does have a variety of programming options that could be well suited for your child as well. There are some clarifying questions about the waiver window. So if your child is not yet 5 prior to the first day of school, you would still start the registration process. And if your child is in the waiver window, the school will reach out to you. So we will let you know that a meeting is required and set that up for you. If you have a unique circumstance that you'd like to discuss beyond that, after you register, you're free to reach out to your building principal, and we're always happy to discuss your individual scenario and what's best for your child too. There are a few other follow-up questions about specifics regarding allergies and medications. Our staff is familiar with a wide variety of medical needs, and our staff has gotten really good at accommodating allergies, for example. If you think your child's medical condition involves some intensive planning, it'd be a good idea to email the principal ahead of time so that we can plan with you. We spend most of early August planning for our newest group of kids. If you think it's takes more time than that too, even in June you could reach out so that we're starting to consider needs for your child. In our current world, EpiPens have become something we're pretty familiar with and well trained with, so that you can note that in your child's PowerSchool account so that all people who work with your child see it, and then you could also email their teacher as well before school begins. And it looks like the remainder of our questions are questions that were asked early in the presentation but were eventually answered from there. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Well, thank you so much to all of you for joining us tonight. Out in the lobby, we do have representatives from several of our important groups around the school districts, or our enrollment team is out there if you have specific questions about enrollment. Our food service department is out there. Our teaching and learning department is present. Our special ed department has representation as well. So feel free, and our building principals are right here up front. Thanks, team, for being here tonight. So you are welcome to flag any of us down or stop by any of the tables out there. Good luck with your enrollment process. We can't wait to meet you, and we'll see you April 9th. Thanks so much. Principals up on stage, please, and then you can answer questions.